All right, let's jump right in. We're going on a hunt today, a hunt for something truly legendary in the stock market. We're talking about monster stocks. You know, those incredibly rare companies that have the power to completely transform your financial future. But the big question is, how on earth do you find them? Well, I'll tell you this much. It's not about luck. It's about having a secret map. And today, we're going to start decoding it together.
And look, that's not just my opinion. This quote from money manager Jim Roppel really hits the nail on the head. He says, just a few of these monster stocks, if you handle them the right way, can change your life. We're not talking about just making a few bucks here and there. We're talking about genuine, life-altering opportunities. But that little phrase, if you handle them correctly, that's the key to the whole thing.
So, where do we even begin this hunt? Well, the secret isn't buried in some complex new algorithm, and it's definitely not going to come from a hot tip you hear at the gym. No, the secret has been hiding in plain sight this whole time. It's history. Understanding the past is, without a doubt, your single most powerful weapon for fighting the huge winners of the future.
Now, this really shows the two different worlds. On the left, you've got the common approach. It's chaos, right? It's chasing tips, relying on pure luck, just kind of searching around with no real plan. But the legends, the market giants, they are playing a completely different game. They're on the right. They're following a map, looking for patterns that have worked time and time again, and, this is crucial, they are patiently waiting for the perfect conditions to strike.
I love this analogy. Think of yourself as a master sea captain. You wouldn't just sail out into the middle of the ocean hoping to stumble upon treasure, would you? Of course not. You'd study old maps, you'd look at charts of the currents and the weather patterns, you'd know that the really powerful currents, the ones that lead you to new lands, only show up under very specific conditions, and you'd have the patience to wait for them.
So what is this map we keep talking about? It's the study of market history. For literally over 100 years, market cycles have shown these incredibly consistent traits. The way the biggest leading stocks emerge, the way they act, the way they trade, it's all surprisingly predictable. And here's the absolute kicker. The monster stocks of tomorrow are going to look almost identical to the monster stocks of yesterday.
Okay, so if we're the sea captains studying our historical maps, what exactly are we looking for? What is that powerful current we're supposed to wait for? What does the perfect storm for a monster stock actually look like?
Well, it has a name. It's called a major market uptrend. And let me be perfectly clear. This is the only environment you should be hunting in. This is that powerful current. It's a long, sustained period where the overall market is just charging ahead, gaining ground without any big, scary setbacks. This is the fertile ground where almost every single monster stock in history was born.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This is why patience really is a superpower. These prime hunting grounds, these major uptrends, they only happen about a third of the time. Think about that. That means 2/3 of the time, the conditions just are not right. The best traders in the world get this. They sit on their hands and wait. They don't force it, and that's why they get such incredible results when the time is right.
So, just how powerful is this current we're waiting for? Let's look at the actual numbers from history. First off, for it to even qualify as a major uptrend, the market needs to gain at least 40%. That's the baseline.
And this isn't just some flash in the pan. It's not a quick little rally that's over in a few weeks. The average duration of one of these powerful uptrends is about 14 months. That gives you plenty of time to find a winner and ride the wave.
And here it is. This is the number that should really get your attention. When you combine that strength and that duration, the average gain for the market during these periods wasn't 40%, it wasn't 50%, it was a whopping 76%. That is the prize you get for all that patient waiting. Now, I know this might sound like some dusty old theory from a textbook, but it's not. This strategy is the exact playbook used by the greatest traders in history. So let's talk about some of the legendary captains who have successfully sailed these very seas.
Just look at this timeline of masters. We're going all the way back to Bernard Baruch in the 1890s, the infamous Jesse Livermore, Nicholas Darvas in the 50s, all the way up to the legendary William J. O'Neill in the 1960s. The point is, this isn't some new-fangled idea. It's a time-tested, proven principle that the greats have used to build fortunes for over a century.
And to really bring this home, let me tell you an incredible story about William J. O'Neill. He didn't build his empire on 1,000 little wins. He literally funded the creation of his entire national newspaper, Investor's Business Daily, with the profits from just 2 monster stocks that he handled correctly. 2. That is the kind of mind-blowing, life-changing power we are talking about.
So what did these legends actually do? You know, their core strategy really boils down to these 3 steps. And listen, they sound simple, but I promise you, they are not easy. First, you have to recognize the right conditions and find the right stock. Second, you need the iron discipline to sit patiently and let that winner run. And third, and this might be the hardest part, you have to know how to sell correctly when the amazing run is finally over.
Okay, so we have the map, we've seen the legends who used it. Now for the most important part. What about your path? How can you start taking these lessons and actually applying them, starting today?
First things first, we need a serious dose of reality. Let me be crystal clear. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. The hard truth is that even when you do everything right, you buy the perfect stock at the absolute perfect time, you should still only expect maybe 1 or 2 out of every 10 of those stocks to have that true monster potential. This is a game of discipline and probabilities, not guarantees.
So where do you begin? What's step 1? Well, let the master, William J. O'Neill, tell us himself. He said, the first step in learning to pick big stock market winners is for you to examine leading big winners of the past. That's it. That is your homework. Go back and pull up the charts of the past giants. Study their explosive earnings, their new products, their price action. That is how you start to build your own map.
You see, when it's all said and done, it comes down to this one simple idea. The map, defining the next monster stocks, is drawn with the ink of history. The patterns of the past are the signposts for the future. They're all there, just waiting for someone to find them. The only question left is, are you looking in the right place?